No, I am in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear everyone. Hello, Jenny.
Hey, Tara.
Where are you parked at this point in time?
I am in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Knoxville, Tennessee. So you made it to Knoxville today.
I did. Yes, I'm very happy with that.
Good for you. Are you going to the Grand Ole Opry?
Yeah, in my dreams, I'll be there. Singing too.
Let me see if I can see where our host is, Kevin Dugan. Kevin, are you on there? Can you hear me? There you are.
He's there somewhere.
You. I see you, Kev. Can you hear me now?
He's muted.
He is. I just unmuted him.
We good?
I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. We're good.
Loud and
Hi.
clear.
Hi,
Cool.
Kevin.
Were you in Toronto today, Kev?
I was in Guelph.
Oh, did you drive through the storm? Because I was coming back.
I hit the monsoon season there and back. It was all good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I left the corporate office at like 6:30 and hit into a wall of water.
Yeah, I hear you. I experienced that up in Caledon today. It was like, is this going to be one of those hurricane days or tornadoes or whatever type of deal? So it was pretty, yeah, sideways water. It's pretty cool.
That's what it looked like for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy tornado things coming. I've been in one of those before.
I don't want to be in one.
I was in it once and I don't want to be in it again, that's for sure. So 1 second, I'm just going to mute everybody. And Kev, just give me 1 sec here, Kev. There you are, Kev, and I'll unmute you. You can hear me, eh, Kev?
Yeah, we're good.
Perfect. Yeah. So welcome everybody to our Monday night training call. I'm really excited because tonight, and before we get started tonight, I just wanted to, if we could all, there's a lady on our team on Team Vox Life, and her name is Christy Quesnel. And Christy got some unfortunate news, and she's battling with a brain tumor right now. So if nobody minds, I'd just like to lead us in a little prayer tonight for Christy Quesnel before we get started. So, dear Heavenly Father, we come before your throne of grace, mindful of your greatness and mindful of your care upon us. We pray, Lord God, as a team with this amazing gift of Vox Life. We pray for our partner, our soldier, our friend, Christy Quesnel, that you will put your healing hands upon her, and that we will join as a team in prayer together and remember Christy in our thoughts and prayers at all times as she struggles with this not unbeatable, but you are the ultimate physician, Lord, and we put her care into your hands and pray that it will be your will to bring her forth clean and clear and healthy once again. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
So, Kev, great to have you on the call. Kevin Duguay and I, Doogsy, aka Linemate, aka Liney, we're at an amazing fight with a young lad in Peterborough, and we were driving who actually knocked the guy out in partway through the second round. Hit him so hard he knocked him right through the ropes and almost straight out onto the floor. But anyways, Kevin and I were just driving home. We had about a 2.5 hour drive, and we were discussing, parts of the business, things we could train on, things that would resonate with people. And Kevin made a great point because, there's nobody better in this business, to my knowledge, than Doogsy and his ability to reach out. And a lot of you have probably spoken to him on the phone before. He does an amazing job. We're blessed to have him on our team, and how much it means to have the spoken word, because we don't really feel intent and emotion in Texas. And we want to Kev decided that, hey, why don't we talk a little bit about the importance of the spoken word as opposed to the texted word. So, Kev, I'm going to give it over to you right now. I'm so excited that we can talk about this tonight, that you can lead us, because, as I said, you are awesome at reaching out to teammates and blessing their lives and speaking to them and uplifting them and so on. And I know that, that what you put out, you get back. So thank you so much, Kev, for doing the call tonight, and take it away, bro.
All right, Terry, thanks very much. Just for the note takers, yeah, Kevin made notes. I got 2 pages worth here. So this is should be fun there. I'm learning from other leaders in the business, as they say. But yeah, I just, with this journey, folks, that we've been on, and I was reflecting on our road trip that we had to Belleville. And when you get back at 3:30 in the morning, good thoughts come in type of deal. And, what I saw and what we've experienced, and what I've experienced in a big part of my life. And I'll share some analogies and what I've learned in this Vox Life business. And it's whether it's Kev, the therapist, prior to Vox, speaking into a patient that with our work together, I will be able to improve on your health and wellness from a rehab perspective. To no different in Vox, to no different as a father, 3 kids, marriage, the whole 9, and especially also in team sports. And I'll share some concepts of what I've learned being around coaches, being coached by people, and then what I've experienced on my own journey in the power of words, both a little bit on the negative, but it's all going to be positive, because what I've seen now with the team is that it's amazing what happens with the positive affirmations that come out, whether it's from me or Terry or any of the leaders in the business, the Pauls and the Sandys and the Kathys and all of us that are stepping up into a role where sometimes it just falls into your lap and, oh my gosh, I got to get better at this, to the point where some people are going, I don't know if I can talk to that person. And oh my gosh, I got to speak to people, even they're not just going to come to the booth, or I've got to share my story. And I want to share with you some tips and some things you can put into practice to work between, because what I learned is, this is the toughest part here, folks. It's the 6 inches between your 2 ears. So what's going into here that's allowing what's in here and what's in your heart, no, right side, what's in your heart, because what comes out can do, and I'm going to read something to you here. So, if you want these notes, I can send it to you. It's not a big deal. So anyway, so just remember this. So words have energy and power with the ability to help, to heal, to hinder, to hurt, to harm, to humiliate, and to humble. Considering the powerful force of words we utter, what we speak, we must discipline ourselves to speak in a way that conveys respect, gentleness, and humility. So having said that, so we've all, I think, been in situations where we were spoken down on, were spoken to in a way that was very condescending, very hurting, spiteful, speaking out of anger, speaking out of pain, and it lands inside of us and it takes root. And what I saw as a young boy, that, here was this guy, Kevin Duguay, that seemed to, I enjoy being around people. So we are wired to be socially connected. You have to remember that as a network marketer, as an MLMer, as an entrepreneur, that to have a business that's successful and going to grow, you're going to have to talk to people, because part of the transaction that comes with this is what we're doing is, if we look at sales, it's about helping people to make a decision that's good for them. So I want you to remember the last part. It's a decision that's good for them, not for me, for them. So you have to be a listener. We're gonna go through the things. So when we look at Vox Life, and for all of us who have come to this journey in Vox Life, and first starting our starting steps and being a rookie, what I've learned in my own journey in the 4 years I've been blessed to know Jay and Dane and Terry and Lori and Paul, and in the early days, is you have to have unwavering belief in the product to start. Where does that come from? It comes from your story. And Jay's talked about this, and I talked about it, and everybody I talk to, I come across in Vox Life, that when we share the technology and we share the gift, I said, if you're going to go any further in this business with what this is about, you have to have a story. Because they have to know in what they listen to your voice. So you can speak in a very shallow, shrinking, and Rebecca did a great training on this. So if you need coaching on body posturing, go talk to Rebecca Naylor, because she's the actor, musician, music coach. She'll coach you on that. Okay, so we got lots of good coaches in this business. Great coaches on the team. You need like assistants, right? There's a head coach, so we got Jay, and you got all these assistants. We're all assistants working together. We got players, and so it starts with belief, and belief starts where? Remember when you got voxed. Never forget the feeling and the emotion, because when you talk to people, you have to have emotion, because we are wired that way. We make emotional decisions. Honey, that jacket looks great on you. Okay, I listen to the tonality of my voice, of my wife's voice. She's very excited, especially when I get to spend the money, and it's all good. So that's a key point. So your tonality, where does it come from? It comes from belief. It comes from my story is different from Terry's. Anybody that watching on the call, your story is your story. Now we start down the journey with this because people are going to ask you, why do you love Vox Life? Why do you love Vox HPT? They don't need a science dissertation. It's got nothing. It's gone. You've lost them. Why? We're dealing with human beings here. We know what the science does. We know what the tech does. We've had these stories, and so what do? So you got to believe in yourself that starting with your story, if that's all you have, that's okay. But what else you got? You got people around you that are going to pour into you. Why? We're all on the same team. Now, for those of you that ever played team sports in your life, I have sympathy for you and empathy for you, because what I've learned in team sports, it wasn't about the individual. Yes, there's a collective group of individuals involved with a team, but it's everybody pulling together and helping each other get better, because we win as a team and we lose as a team. And individual awards are what they are, but when you win as a team and somebody else moves up the line and moves up the ladder, moves up a rank, everybody gets excited, and rightfully so. Thank you, Rebecca, for putting up Chronically Well Club. If you need a vocal coach, go talk to Rebecca. Okay, I get enough on my plate as it is. We're all good. So we look at that belief in yourself. Now, if you've been wounded, if you've been hurt, if you've been slammed, I can't do this, Kev. There's no way. Oh my gosh, I don't have these credentials. It's got nothing to do with that. The product is what, and it's interesting. I was listening to some podcasts last week, and I'll talk about this as well, about empowering yourself, is that very rarely do people lead with the product. They asked about some story about why did you get into the business, and nobody said, the reason I got into XYZ was that it had an amazing, it changed my quality of life. No, they don't talk about that. But that's what we do in Vox Life. Because most of us in Vox Life had some health challenge that if it wasn't for Vox Life, and I remember being in St. John's, Newfoundland with Kathy and her team, that I'm looking into the crowd and I'm going, at that point, I think we'd help like 1.7 million people. And I'm going, where would these people be without Vox HPT? This is not going to be a good story, because we know what the story was before the tech came into our life. So you grab onto stories, and when you grab onto the story, you hold on to that. What do? You start building on the stories, and you get around people that are going to be positive and pour into you. I got no tape. The naysayers in my life, it's like a cancer. Cut them out. I got people in my own family that are naysayers. I spend my time, intelligently with them, as I call it. Okay, I'm very careful where I go because I know how they can, a negative attitude, how it can infect. It's like a virus, how it gets inside. And I remember reading little thing on words where it can become a toehold, then a foothold, and then a stronghold. And you believe and you focus on the negative, and that's where you're gonna go. So how do you switch it? So we're gonna go a couple of things. So you got to believe in the product. You can't have any doubt because people are gonna hear it in your voice. Now, if you're a rookie and you're building up the confidence, well, you're gonna go around veterans. You do a show together. You have a sock and soul party. You're going with a friend who's got a lot more armor around them. Why? Because you're my teammate and I value you because you're new in the game, just like I was 4 years ago. 4 years ago, there was no PowerPoints. There's no back office. There's a lot of stuff that we didn't have. And I'm going on faith because I don't have any stories. I got one story, mine. That's it. I got thousands now. Thank you, team. But back then, it's just my story when I got Voxed by Jay. But I knew here that, oh my, this is cutting edge. This is cutting edge stuff. So I got to believe in myself. I got to believe in the company. Are we perfect? No, we're not. Why? Because we're made up of people. Guess what? People make mistakes every day. And every day we try to get better. We learn from our mistakes. It's no different in sports. Does every athlete execute perfectly? Does every singer hit the perfect notes? Does every painter get the right stroke? Nope. That's okay. It takes a lot of time to become very, very competent. It takes 10,000 hours, just so you know, as a rookie. So there's a lot of work you got to do on yourself to develop and empower yourself to be the person that you were destined to be, not what somebody said you are. And I've learned that, so I get around the good people. So believe in yourself, believe in the product, believe in the company, believe in management, believe in every aspect of it, because when you speak like this, people go, and I'll share an example. I got off the call with a new recruit, somebody that was prospect, a warm market, was talking with them, sharing about the tech. And at the end of the call, they go, Kev, you really love this product, don't you? Yeah, I do. I says, why'd you say that? Because I can hear it in your voice. It wasn't a text. It wasn't an emoji. And yes, don't get me wrong, I'm learning about emojis. They're good. And touches are nice. I'm getting better with tech. But something, we're wired to hear something because the spoken word is power. There's something when somebody speaks into you and when you speak it, and again, I'm going to share some things with you that gets into here. It starts here. Why? Because when you speak, you listen. You have no choice. That's why you have no choice. You're going to hear what you say when you talk. Okay? So we have that. I'm going to share a story here before I get into the top 10 tips. Working on the top 10 list. It is what it is. And I can send you this clip if you want to. There's a clip on YouTube, and I love this movie called Mr. Holland's Opus. If you've seen it, Richard Dreyfuss, yeah, Rebecca's going thumbs up, yeah. This is like a sick movie. Yeah, I got all my sports movies. I got my Rudies. I got my Dreamers. I got all that stuff. But let me tell you why I love Mr. Holland's Opus. There's a scene in the movie with a clarinetist named Gertrude Lang. And she's trying to hit these notes, and for the love of God, she can't hit it. She's trashing the orchestra. It's one bad note in the entire ensemble, and it's killing Richard Dreyfuss, the actor, as the music instructor. And I'm sure Rebecca's had her share of squeaky notes. I have too. That's why I leave music to other people that are better than me. So what happened is he's trying to get into this girl's head to play the instrument properly, because in her family, she's not the superstar. Her dad's done this. Her mom's done this. Her brother's done this. Her sister's done this. And she can't hit the note. And what does she get? She gets rejection. She gets rejection. You get fear. I'm never going to mount anything. I'm no good. I can't play the clarinet. And the teacher could say, you know what? Yeah, you're right, kid. Pack it in. You're no good. Get out of here. Get off my team. I got no time for you. But what? Just like us in Vox. She took the time to go sign up for music class. I remember going in music class. I learned how to play the flute. That is what it is. And so I'm learning a skill with my brain. But I learned artists are very good because you need the right brain and the left brain. You need both brains working here. You just can't be analytical. You need the creative side. So he's trying to get into her head and get into her heart about, and then he has the kicker. And he looks at her and he goes, what do you like best about yourself when you look in the mirror? Now, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're not listening to anybody else. It could be your smile. Maybe you got your eyebrows all done right. I don't know. I got to work my eyebrows. It is what it is. And you're looking at yourself, and I like my hair. I like my hair. What's left, it's going a bit, but I like the strawberry blonde look, and my mother used to talk about my hair and all this. Geez, I'm a rare Hungarian with this strawberry blonde hair. But she says the same thing. She says, I love my hair. And he asked, this is the question, why do you love your hair? Because my father says it reminds him of the sunset. See, it's an emotion. It's a part. When Karen Smith puts up those sunset photos, or any issue in Vox that send those sunset photos, it's not like, they're always nice pictures. Because there's an emotional connection. It makes you feel good inside. So I got to get into the feel-good club, as I call it. So I watch this, and then he goes, you know what? Play the sunset. Focus on that emotion, that what makes you feel special is that your father feels so good when he looks at your hair because it reminds you of the sunset. So play the sunset. And then what he does, he turns the notes over. No, you don't need the notes. You know it. It's in here. It's your story. I got to memorize my script. I don't. My story comes out different every time. So you tell your story, and you tell it from emotion, and then it lands in the other person's emotional bank because there's a connection that happens. It's like when a coach talks to you and they're trying to pep you up. They don't talk in very dull, monotone voices. No way. They're walking around. They're looking at you in the eyes, and when you make eye contact, which you can't do on texting. That's why I talk about this. Now, I can look at you on a FaceTime, but you can hear my voice on the phone for those I've spoken to. And my kids know, Dad, you never text me. No, I got to talk to you. You got to hear my voice. I want to hear your voice. There's something that resonates in my brain and my heart and my gut when I hear the voice. And I learned this as a teacher. I learned this when I was in college, that how I spoke to students, I could either inspire you, I could crush you. And I'm going, yeah, I know I'm smarter than you, and I got this big deal. I'm here to inspire you about anatomy and physiology. Oh my God, Kev, that's like boring. No, it's not. Anatomy and physiology can be pretty exciting if you know how to talk about it. Anything can be exciting, gardening, whatever. So you speak positive, you speak from the heart, you speak from the gut, and how do you get there? So you go, oh, Kev, I can't do that. I've been so wounded. This happened in my life. This happened in my life. That happened in my life. And these socks somehow came into my life, and I feel better. But sometimes it's not enough. So now you got to go to work. Like I said, the toughest thing to do is get into the 6 inches between. And I'm still a work in progress. I get coached every day. I got two women in the house now. One's left, so I'm not only down to 2 now. I'm almost even skill, but I'm still outnumbered, so I still got to learn. So I'm going to give you a couple things here. So when you're out in public and you see somebody, just look, when you're walking by somebody, just smile, say hi. Watch what happens. They respond back. How about that? Say hello. They say hello back. And it's a positive. If they don't respond, don't worry about it. But watch what happens when the person responds back to you. You feel good inside. How about that? It's a very simple thing. Smiles attract. Remember, love attracts, negative repels. If you think like this all the time, you're going to attract a lot of people by your tonality, how you stand, how you engage, how you listen. Second thing, okay, I learned this. You guys know I tell stories. So the second point says, read aloud to a child. Try this. You got grandkids, other kids, you go to the library, reading program, read the kids. They love stories. Why? It's the brain going, imagination, and it does something to you as the reader, because I'm now helping my kids because they can't read because they're like 5 years, 3 years old or 4 years old, but they love the stories. But it does something on emotional connection. There are books and books that we've read that connect with us at the heart level. Focus on those things that put you in a good spot. Positive self-talk. Okay, I can do this. It's like Bob the Builder. I can do it. It is what it is. You got to think like a kid. But it's simple that I can talk to somebody. I can say, here's the big word. I can say hi. Oh, okay, I did it. I said hello, and they respond back. Okay. Make a list of positive power words or phrases. I got this from my wife, where when Karina was working through some stuff, we would put phrases on the back of the door on the way out the door, on the mirror in the bathroom, in the car, on the fridge, on the television, wherever. And it was just positive phrases, because you attract what you focus on. So if I'm speaking positive words into me all the time and I'm staying away from the negative, that's what used to build in me. Respond rather than react. I'll share a good example today. So we're at an event today with a couple of my teammates, Jamie and Mike Quinn in Guelph. And I'm talking to these people in the safety committee, and I've learned how to engage my audience, that people love to talk about themselves. So when they get to talk about themselves, it takes all the pressure off of me, because now I listen and I respond and ask another question in response. And what does it do? It gets a conversation going, and it just breaks the ice. But then people go, you actually care about me. You're not here doing a business. I mean, yes, there's business to be done, and I get that. I understand there needs to be a transaction at some point. But initially, what do you got to do? You got to build trust. You got to build credibility. You got to build relationships. Remember, people will do business who they know, like, and trust. They may like the way you look, the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you interacted. There's something that connects in regards to that. So it's when you listen and respond accordingly, then again, cool things happen. Okay, you got to say, I'm sorry. We all make mistakes. And it's better to deal with a mistake and just humble yourself and say, you know what, I messed up. I'm really sorry. And then what follows with that is, can you forgive me? Can you forgive me for doing that? I made a mistake. Let me correct it. Let me work on that for you. And they go, and it very rarely is it done, but we all make mistakes, and when you own up to it, it changes the dynamic. Collect new words, expand your vocabulary. It's a part of being eloquent, being in a conversation, words that are used, metaphors, whether you like doing crossword puzzles or word finds or whatever. My dog's running, sorry. It is what it is. You have to focus on these things. Listen to inspiring literature. When I'm driving, my car is a rolling university. I do not listen to the radio anymore. I've learned that while I'm in the car, if I'm still learning every day, who do I listen to? I've got about 12 different types of podcasts that I listen to in my car. If I need to know where I'm going, I type in Waze, and I got the map on my phone. I'm good to go. I don't need to listen to the traffic report. No, Waze looking after for me. I don't need to listen to negative news. Negative news, nothing I knew about it. I cannot do it. And I see people shaking their head going, I do not watch the news, folks. I have not watched the news in years. Why? Because there's nothing good that comes out of it. They focus on the negative. Now, if you focus on the positive, like Upworthy, Goalcast, you saw, for example, you guys, we all saw the post that Jay shared on Les Brown talking about the bamboo tree. Well, you know what? When you fertilize soil, I got sunflowers growing in the backyard here doing quite nicely. I planted them in faith. I planted these seeds. I hope they're not jacking the beanstalk. She's actually going to work. But I didn't speak over my plants yet. Haven't done that. But I got them good soil, watered, fertilizer, sun, and man, they're growing like weeds. And they're not weeds, they're sunflowers. But I like sunflowers because it's to me, it's a powerful metaphor. Because one seed turns in like thousands. And it gives me hope that you keep doing the right things, good things happen. So my car, and the kids know, Dad, another podcast? Yeah, because I have to get better. I'm always working on myself. And so there's lots of different people out there, from business coaching to motivational speaking, to you pick a topic that you like, that inspires you and gives you that energy and excitement. That's almost like you become like bulletproof. Like you're going into a meeting going, I know what's going to happen when I box that person. I can't wait for the look in the eyes because it works every single time and you have that confidence, but it comes from practice. Okay, game day is game day. Practice is practice. You work on yourself. And the last thing is just be thankful for what you have. When I listen to the people that I've met in Vox Life, and I look at what I've been blessed with my physical body compared to others that have come into Vox Life, I have nothing to complain about. When you wake up every day, you're grateful you woke up today. There are people who don't wake up in their sleep. They go to sleep and they never wake up. I don't care where you live. I don't care what you drive. I don't care if you got to take the bus to go to a meeting. I've done that. I've done it. I've done that stuff. It's not about the stuff that attracts people, because they're going to listen to you talk. It's like a teacher. We all have that favorite teacher that we had in school. And I said, if you focused on why did you like that teacher? There's something that connected with you when they spoke, whether it was your favorite subject, topic, they were excited about what they talked about, whatever it was, and it inspires you. And I said, we can all be that. We can all be that inspirational person. We can choose to be negative or positive. I've learned in life that negative doesn't get you very far. It attracts the wrong crowd. And I said, I'm not doing that. So if you're having issues with this between the ears, there's those 10 steps, or you're going to get a Vox buddy. You're going to get a friend in Vox that you can call that's a bit more bulletproof than you, has been through some tough times. Have I been rejected in Vox Life? Absolutely. Lesson release. Have a nice day. Let them go. You know, it's not worth sweating all the small stuff. And as I surround myself with this team that we have, it's funny how we keep attracting these types of people. Those other ones it's almost like they don't like being in this environment. It's like, you guys are too happy. You know, there's always exciting posts. You're welcoming people. You're calling. You're sending a text. You send somebody an emoji. Can I help you? You need a sock? I got a sock here. I'll drop it off at your place. Really? You guys do that? Well, why not? It's my teammate. If my teammate forgot to bring his hockey sticks to the game, oh no, you can't use my stick. Sorry. No, you lost your sticks. But, oh yeah, imagine that being Wayne Gretzky. Not that he would. He'd never forget his sticks. But I want you to imagine Wayne Gretzky forgetting his sticks. And he showed up to the game. Something happened, whatever. And he asked, can I borrow your stick? What are you going to tell Wayne Gretzky? No, Wayne, you can't borrow my stick. Yeah, take whatever stick you want. Take it. You know, happy to help. Because I know when you get the stick, we're going to win the game. The team is going to win. And when you put yourself out, and yes, it's uncomfortable. Yeah, we go to Belleville. You know, it's like I think we left, I met Terry, we met Terry at 2:30 in the afternoon. I get home at 3:35 in the morning on a road trip, and I loved every 11 hours on that trip with Terry, Lori Stevenson, Everett Davey, and 4 of us going on a road trip to watch a boxer in Belleville. We had a nice team meal together. You know, we had 4 of us had meal together. We had a nice post meal afterwards. We met some more people in Belleville. It was a wonderful, social, interactive, positive day. All 11 hours. No negative. And so, as I encourage you as teammates in Vox Life, we're going to go through some tough stuff. It is what it is. And it's all part of the learning process. But it's how you look at it and how you approach it. Did I pass every course I took in college? No, but I just believed I got to find a different way. I got to work a little bit harder. What I got to believe in. And I just changed my way of thinking. And like I said, I've been blessed to be around these visionaries. And I'll share one story from my sports world, because it is what it is. It's 57 years of my life, or maybe 54, 3 years old before I started. But when I was on a championship team, we had 2 players on this team of 55 football players. One was Chris Gaines and one was Matt Dunnigan. Chris Gaines was a middle linebacker, so he was the guy in defense. And Matt Dunnigan was the quarterback or the field general on offense. But the leadership skills that these 2 men possessed, that when they looked at you in the eyes, if you hadn't given 100%, no words need to be spoken. You knew that they give 100% all the time. I'm going to go and do my best. You can do it. Let's go back out again. We run another play. Let's win the play. Let's win one play at a time. Let's go Vox somebody. Let's go talk to somebody. Let's build your list. We're going to work in your warm market. We're going to get amongst friends. I'm going to help you with the call. I'm going to go on appointment with you. I'm going to help you with your party. I'm going to inspire and empower you so you can do the same to your next generation of Vox recruiters, Vox recruits that come into your business. Because you lead by example and you learn by example. So who do you learn from? And I don't care who you pick. Find somebody in your team, find somebody in Vox that you can, as Terry said, you can link arms and go. I'll give you an example. It's like Kelly and Lynn. They're like two different teams. They linked arms. They're like, not Abbott and Costello, like peanut butter and jam. They're like peanut butter and jam, and they work well together, and they help each other. And it's amazing to watch two people working together as a unit. It's no different than as a team. That's where it starts. So you get around the right people, affirmations. If you have to write words down on a sticky note and start sticking them on your fridge and start speaking positive and watch what happens. It's amazing the doors that open up because people love to be loved on. We've been slammed, pushed down, told we're no good. You're too tall, you're too short, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too white, you got a farmer's tan cap. It is what it is. Don't go there. Focus on the right people that pour into you, and you'll be a different person. And that's what I love about Vox Life, because the leadership from the top down is all about that. And it's not going to change. I think that's why what makes it so special that the leaders have come from adversity, have come from challenges, and they just learn, and people help them, and we help each other, and then the sky's the limit. And that's where I see this company going. We keep our focus on helping others and also helping yourself, and find people that can help you get better. Just watch.
You know,
it's already happened.
You
go ahead, sir.
Thank you so much. I mean, this is incredible, and you're always we do have a great time together, and we it's so good to get together when we just hang together and we talk about the positives. And I know that, when you and I are together, we never talk about negative stuff. We've laughed together, we've shed tears together, we've prayed together, and there's a camaraderie, there's a bond that you build with the spoken word. And the comments have been just so positive coming through the feed here. And I've always said I need to get better at that myself at times, is picking up the phone and hearing the voice, because I think there's also a degree of safety in hearing somebody's voice, hearing that it's okay, if they're, maybe just venting a bit, or they're having a bad day, and you call to pick them up, or you call to cheer them up. There's a certain sense of safety. I could never even imagine my dad or my mom, when I was having a bad day or something, texting me a note and saying, "It's going to be okay, son," with a text with an emoji face or something. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't imagine that. So there's just something about that spoken word, to pick up the phone, and I think it resonated with a lot of people tonight, that, as teammates, I really enjoy the get-togethers. I enjoy, having a little team get-together. I know we can't always make all those events, but that spoken word with your teammates is so incredible, because I think that, we feel safe. And I know you, as a sports therapist and being a team trainer and so on, there was a safety being in your team. You walked out as a team together. You felt safe. And I know that, a lion on their own is not that safe, even though they're the strongest, they're the king of the jungle. But a lion in its pride is very, very powerful and very, very safe, and so on. And for all intents and purposes, Vox Life, being one team, is a pride. We've got a mission to fulfill that we've all aligned with Jay. And I think it's important that we speak to each other as much as we can, whether we're in, each other's downlines at times or not, just to say hello, just to say, how's it going? Those sort of thing. And that this call really resonated with me. And I thought, as we talked, what better way to do it? And I know that you and I try to talk at least once a week or once every 2 weeks for sure. And, just say what's going on. Right.
Yeah.
So, and the comments coming in here, love this. Thanks for the reminders. The sky is the limit. Woohoo. I found my partner, right, Sandy? You help people get what they want. You get what you want. I can't imagine talking to Kevin and having a negative conversation. If I started it negative, he'd never let it end that way. That was from Stephanie Get At You. Bonnie Andrews, being real with each other. I love that. I mean, there's no one that's been more of an emotional wreck at times than me. Boston is looking forward to Kevin's visit. How lucky are we? Kathy Shannon, she says, I love your message about speaking from emotion, because emotions are our soul's expression, I believe. Thanks for the training. And it's so right. I mean, it is our soul's expression. And, that command of your voice, that command and that training. I mean, Rebecca Naylor did a fabulous training. And by the way, while I got everybody on the call here, Rebecca and I have just been texting privately, and Rebecca's going to be our trainer next week on the 23rd. So I'm looking forward to having Rebecca. She always does an amazing job on the training. So she's going to do the training on the 23rd, and I'm sure she hasn't divulged her topic to me yet, but I'm sure it will be exciting and exhilarating, and I look forward to having her on the call. But
you want me to tell you the topic?
What's that? Sure, you can tell me.
Okay, I'm going to be talking. Actually, I chose this topic before Kevin's topic, and it ties in nicely. Actually, I'm going to be focusing really on mindset and belief. Perfect.
That's great. Mindset and belief. So everybody, mark your calendars next week on the 23rd. I will be hosting from Temiskaming, Quebec. So you might hear some loons in the background or whatever, but
nice.
That's where I'll be hosting it from. But no, it's just that spoken word, Kevin, is so endearing, and when you get together and you speak to each other, it's also easier, I believe, to get closer to each other. Don't you agree with that?
Yeah, it's, Terry, you and I can appreciate in a closed door meeting, like the days we had in sports, or the teacher talks to class as a whole, or just like you started tonight with Christine about, as a collective group, we've got a teammate that's down. She needs our help. And so what do? You step up and help in whatever way we can as a team. And, when you link arms, whether we're linking arms as 11,000 plus now in Vox Life, and as the list continues to grow, we're still at the root of this. We're on a crusade, which Jay started to help his mom with MS. Yep. That's the foundation of what this company was founded on. Yep. So if you take, when I share that, and it's interesting, folks, like 4 years later, I still tell people how this all started. It didn't start with some guy reading the magazine and this. I know it came across something, but he thought of somebody else. He thought of his mother. Maybe this can help my mom. But somebody spoke to him. Somebody spoke to Jay and said, Jay, you got to check this. And he didn't. I'm sure the tonality in his voice was like, Jay, I don't know what you're doing. Drop it. You got to get over here. You got to check this out. This is amazing. Mm-hmm. It's how you say it. And so what happened? He gets inspired. And he aligns himself with people in his journey. And yeah, he got kicked in the shins. And he talked about this last week on the call. Yeah, he got a lot of emails from people saying, good, bury it, deep six it, wasting your time. You're wasting my time. And we all get the same thing. We're going to get it too. If Jay got it, we're going to get it. So what do? You got to link you got to body yourself. Say, I'm on my team. I got teammates, and I'll get back to you on that. It's a good question. But you know what you believe on. And thank God he didn't quit. Thank God he didn't listen to some other doctor or some other person that says, you'll never solve any problem. But just think of where we are, folks. If somebody said, the telephone's as good as it is. It's going to be stuck on a cable for the rest of the life. We're never going to have a cell phone. And they said, no, I got to make it better.
Yeah.
I got to make it better. Thank God for cell phones, because now I can look in the phone and talk to you guys, you know, and you can see a face. I can't do that in the old days. Now, if I slammed it down like Seinfeld, you know, when you push the text button, no, there's no tone. There's no like. So it's an emotion, and he didn't quit. So we look at we joined a team. You didn't have to run 40 yards. You have to bench press, whatever. You just said, yeah, put on the socks and help me. Can I join your team? Yep. You got a story? Yeah, you're good. Really, that's it? Yeah, pay your $40, join my team, and now we're going to go on a journey. And thank God for people like, I'm telling you, I'm so grateful for like Terry and Paul and these guys, because their giftedness that they have just helps develop this team, and all of us included. You know, everybody that would come to meet in this family, we all have special talents. Like, we're like the orchestra. If you don't have a drummer in the drum work, if you don't have a drummer in Mr. Holland's opus, you got a problem. I need a drummer. I need all these moving parts, and all of us bring special talents. And collectively, amazing things happen. And it's a perfect example of what Jay started. He started by saying, I need an army to go reach 1 billion. So where did it start? Well, it started with an idea. He met Dan and Dan's father, and they believed in him. If you find a time to talk about Jay, about his story, folks, it's powerful. Because here was a guy that befriended Jay and said, I believe in you. There's something inside of you, man, that I love, resonated with his father. I want to help you with what this thing you're doing. I think he was a visionary. How about that? And look, we're the recipients of that inspiration and motivation and perspiration and all those other Asians. It all comes together, and you got to work, you're going to sweat, but we help each other. You get knocked down, yeah, call somebody. Can you help me with something? Yep. Why? You're my teammate. Find your upline, downline, sideline, doesn't matter. Find people that you resonate with, and those are your lineys, just like Terry and I and Paul Austin. We went to Wisconsin. It was an amazing road trip. We had so many laughs. It was so funny, the three of us linking arms, going to help a teammate in Mosinee with Alicia Dow in Wisconsin. And it's another part of our story. And it was a great memory. We met some wonderful people, amazing testimonies, and we just continue to grow, and we pour belief, and we speak inspiration.
Well,
and
that's one of the key points that I think you made tonight, Kev, is that a lot of times in text we can't feel the emotion.
No.
You know, when we listen to a speaker or a friend, you know, a lot of times, how many times we said, "Oh, I didn't think that's what you meant in your text," or whatever. You know, some stuff is lost in texting, and for me, a lot.
Translate.
I only text because sometimes I get so many in a day, but a lot of times what happens is when I reach out and say, hey, can we talk on the phone? Because I can talk way quicker than I can text. You know what I mean? So, and I enjoy hearing from new people, and I enjoy getting to know new people, because, you know, that's a joy in my life that I never thought I would have, is to have so many people that I would get to know and be able to share stories with, and be able to feel like I could be vulnerable around them and they can be vulnerable around me. And there's a trust level. And I think because I don't think belief in Vox, and I've said this before, in this technology, I don't think any of us had, you know, an undeniable belief from day one. I mean, I've spoken to Rebecca a number of times before, where I know she's done her lunge exercise before, and I know that she's probably said a little prayer before, please make this work again. You know what I mean? So belief is built, and it's no different than, you know, athletes that we've worked with, Kev, that, you know, their belief becomes, you know, undeniable after time, right? No different than anything we do in life. You know, I don't think that, you know, yourself or a great athlete or a great teacher believed in themselves the first year they became a teacher, or the first year that I think their belief in how good they were and whatever came from doing, and their belief was built. And being around other teachers, they learned and they spoke and they talked to each other and they shared ideas, and that spoken word is just so powerful. And I think as a team, it resonated. Your training tonight resonated with me, because I mean, we can sit here and talk about, okay, how to add people to Facebook groups, how to go through your back office, how to click on this key, how to add somebody before you tag them. I mean, we can go through all that at times, and that's important as well. But what's really important is communication, and communicating with each other. And, you know, that spoken word where you can just chat with somebody on the phone, and we can get together with a teammate and have dinner. And if we can do that, we can edify each other, we can undergird each other, and we can pour belief into each other. And that, you know, that's exactly what we need. And thank God for the technology that we do have in phones and whatever. And I can remember my dad was old school before he died. And I can remember, this was kind of funny, because I was in his office one day and he was really wanting to give somebody a what for, and he didn't want to, and he had the phone in his hand and he was dialing out on the calculator, and he was like, why is this damn phone not working? And he was wanting to talk to that person, and he kept pushing. I said, well, you're dialing out on the calculator. And he thought it was the phone pad, but he really wanted to talk to somebody. And that was when phones came around, and we were able to text or do email or whatever. But the word can be very uplifting, and it can be, you know, very cutting. Like you said, I can tear you down or I can build you up with the spoken word as a teacher, right? But as far as our team is concerned, you're a tremendous leader, and I know you're just an amazing inspiration to so many on the team, so many in Vox Life. And being the first associate, that's your responsibility, bro. You know, that's as a leader in this company, that's what we have to do. We have to do our best to inspire. And so you've inspired me tonight to speak more, to do a better job at reaching out and talking to teammates and so on. And I think that, you know, one of the points that you made earlier was, you know, believe in yourself, and then, you know, believe in the product and believe in the company. And as a company, you know, we're certainly far from perfect, and we'll never be perfect. But I've always said that, you know, we can chase perfection and we'll never catch it, but we will catch excellence. We can. I mean, you
bring up a really good point, Terry. And I think, folks, if you watch professional athletes, nobody has a perfect game. There's always some mistake that's made, but they did more positives than negatives. And if you just focus on doing the positives, the negatives just start to go away. They're always around you, trying to get back into here. But like I said, if you just keep looking for positives wherever you go and focus on that, it starts to change. And when we went to conferences together, and you listen to an Eric Worre and a Tony Robbins, and there's different speakers that they spoke, they have this undeniable belief in whatever they're doing with their product and network marketing, whatever. They love what they do, and you can hear it resonates.
And they're so positive. I mean, they're positive. You know, they don't talk about anything negative. I mean, they push that away. You know, there's absolutely no negative vibe when you go to see some of these positive speakers. And I know that as humans, I think our nature sometimes is to dwell on, you know, negatives. I know that I've used this analogy before where, you know, we've bought that little basket of cherries, or that little basket of strawberries, or that little basket of raspberries at Farm Boy, and you get it home and there's one rotten one in there, and like you're freaking out about the one rotten strawberry in there. And I'm like, look at all these other great strawberries in here. Like, throw that one out where you can, or feed it to the dog or something, and look at all these other good strawberries. And so with Vox Life, my point is our returns are less than 1%.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
Company, but as it hurts sometimes. I mean, as humans, we take it personally. It hurts sometimes when somebody, you know, doesn't get the results that we want them to have, or they haven't been compliant with the way that we want them to wear it, and they're looking for a magic pill. And, you know, that percentage is very, very small. But when you first, as a company, it's very small. But as an individual just starting out, it could be very huge, because they're just starting out and they may have swung the bat 3 times and had a strike each time. And so we as teammates, I think, Kevin, it's so important that we have to talk to each other and look for someone to speak to and undergird that person and edify them for their efforts. And that's some of the stuff we're going to be training on in Toronto as well.
Great.
Yes, Rebecca, sorry.
Can I share a quote that I just read today that I think is so relevant to everything Kevin said today?
Absolutely, sure.
So I'm reading this book right now. I don't know if any of you have read it. Don Miguel Ruiz. It's called The 4 Agreements. I highly, highly recommend it. But the first of the 4 agreements is be impeccable with your word. So this is actually the chapter that I've been reading today. And you won't believe this, Kevin. It's like everything you just said, and this is what I was just reading today. So
I co-authored the book.
I know, you might as well. So I just think this is so powerful. So through the word, you express your creative power. It is through the word that you manifest everything. Regardless of what language you speak, your intent manifests itself through the word. What you dream, what you feel, and what you really are will all be manifested through the word. The word is not just a sound or a written symbol. The word is a force. It is the power you have to express and communicate, to think, and thereby to create the events in your life. You can speak what other animal on the planet can speak. The word is the most powerful tool you have as a human. It is pure magic.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Very, very
Awesome.
great. That's so true, Rebecca. I agree with that. And so, what a way to end with a quote, Kev. A little bites there. I like that. Say hi to someone. That's always a cool one. Just walk in the store and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And they look at you sometimes like you got 3 heads. Almost like, "What do you want?" No, I'm just saying hello. It's kind of fun. I actually get a kick out of doing it. I just do it for fun. So I love that one. Get used to saying hi to somebody. Just it's not a great place in Toronto to do. It's a distillery district. Just walk around and say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
It's always fun. They might ask you to go for a taco at the Mexican restaurant. You never know. But read aloud. I love that one too. Read aloud. Maybe we'll get Rebecca to come on here some night and read that whole book to us, speed read it to us.
It's so little. Look how little it is.
It's just a baby book.
There we go.
Dimensional.
There we go. That's good. You got pictures? Got pictures?
Hey, Rebecca, maybe you could type in the chat the author and the name of the book again. So for those.
Take a look at the chat. I already did.
Oh, you probably already did it. I didn't look at it yet.
Oh,
You're one step ahead of me. There it is, right there. Perfect. Thank you. She's always on her game. I love it.
Great. I got to run. I'll see you guys next week for Mindset and Belief.
Okay.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Thanks.
Anyways, Kev, awesome points today. Close it off. Make a list of positive words and phrases. Don't be afraid to apologize. Some awesome points tonight. So any closing remarks you got, or any closing questions from the audience? Type them in the chat here. Well, we've got a couple minutes. But Kev, finish off strong here, buddy.
Finish off strong. Well, Rebecca closed out nicely, so I'll leave it with. I don't argue with women anymore. I just go alongside, since we have so many in Vox Life. I'm so grateful for all these amazing women that we have that have learned so much about sharing.
Isn't it awesome?
It is. Like, it's just so good. So good.
Well, we'll put one more thing I want to put out there, that teammates, there are still a few tickets left for Summer in the City. We had opened up another block of 300 tickets. I think there's about 25 tickets left. Now they're at the expanded price, unfortunately. However, remind new teammates, as Kevin and I said, just get there. Worry about how to get a bed or a room or whatever once you get there. But the training will be a lot of fun. It'll be good. And the emotion of the word, it's pretty powerful. The spoken word is amazing. And Kevin, thank you so much, bro. As always, it's a pleasure. We're rooming together at the Harbor Castle, so we'll come up with some pranks or something for somebody. That's always fun, because we've always said, if we're not having fun doing this, we're doing it wrong. That's for sure. So I appreciate Stephanie Getchu says we'll sleep on the sidewalk. Well, you'll be beside other people, so it won't be that bad. But do what you can to get there, folks. We really appreciate you all getting on the call here. As I've always said before, if you're ready to step up and do a training on something that resonates with you, something that you think will
Welcome, Jen.
bring edification to the team, we welcome you. It's not about being good or bad. It's about getting out, speaking, getting out of your comfort zone, growing. We want to see you grow. We're all blossoming in different ways. And the point is, let's all blossom in our own unique ways as we do in this incredible technology that we have that's changing the world, called Vox Life HPT. So thank you so much again, Kevin. God bless everybody. Have a great night.
Thank
and I
you.
look forward to talking to everyone again soon. Good night now.
What is that heart thing or whatever? That heart thing?
Yeah, let me just do our little thing here we do.
World Cup. They all do that heart thing when they score a goal or whatever. So it is what it is.
All
all good.
participants are unmuted. So good night, all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
All right.
Thanks, Kevin. It's
Good job.
awesome.
Get packing, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm stoked, Ellen. I'm stoked.
You think Kylie's gonna sleep here?
Okie dokie.
Okay, Beantown, here we come.
You guys in town.
I love those road trips.
Be safe, my brother.
We're ready.
Lindsay on the porch over
Okay,
there.
I'm glad. So am I.
Good night from Milwaukee.
Good night, Milwaukee.